Okay, they were the ones that I felt there's a couple things that I knew that you're going to hit milestones when you're making a transition from an old building to a new building, and you're trying to change the culture of the school. And there was the class before them. I promised that we would get into a new building, and I told them if they would just hang in there. They had no idea what we were trying to give them. They were just little kids that just quite didn't understand. And I asked those previous 8th graders if they would just hang in there as 6th graders. I said, 3 years from now, I said, things are going to go really nice for you, and you're going to get to be in a brand new school. And at that point in time, the superintendent came to me and said, Tom, you can move in either January 1st, in the middle of the cold, snowy weather, or you can wait until June. And I simply said, I promised those kids, I promised them, if they could just hang in their 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, that we would get them in a new building. And so I said, as much trouble as it's going to be, we're going to get those kids in a new building. But at the same time speaking, these 8th graders, when they came up, I said, you will be the class that turns this place around academically. You have to be the academic leaders. And I said, expect you to be the one team, one hero. Lead by example. Do the right things in the classroom. Be characters what you do when no one's watching. I said, this is the time we come together. You have to be the leaders of school. And this 8th grade class did step up, and they did do those things. And I tell them, I think that sometimes they think I'm just kidding them, but I'm sincere when I say this 8th grade class did a great job for us, and this is the cream of the crop here. The presenters that will be tonight is also dear to my heart. 6 years ago, okay, there were more kids transferring out than was coming in. And there was more teachers transferring out than applying for the jobs at Heritage. Nobody was applying to come into Heritage. And I knew in my heart what that meant. But I knew that we were going to have to weather the storm, and if we were going to weather the storm, we were going to have some good people to do this. And as everybody was rushing out the door, there was one guy walking in the door. And I asked this man to be the cornerstone for us. And he did. I said, please. I said, come with us. You won't regret it. And I call him Big Dog Sutyak, and he's going to be giving out awards today, and he's dear to my heart. But standing next to him is the nicest, cutest young lady. I got to interview her. And she looks like my daughter, she talks like my daughter, and she is a coach, athlete, teacher, and she has her game face on 24/7. 24/7. How you doing, Michelle? Good. Hey, coach, I'm good. I'm doing good. What do you need? I gotta go. Okay, coach. God, I love that intensity. That's how I used to be, okay? She reminds me of my daughter. So we interviewed her, and I lost her. Okay, they assigned her to Wilson. I said, no. That's not going to happen. So I stole the big dog on my left, and I went out and I stole the young lady to my right, and they have been nothing but great for your children. So at this time, I would like them to be the presenters, as well as honoring the 8th grade class that is a very special class. Thank you.
Now, before I start, the reason Ms. Schultz does that to Mr. Serena is she doesn't want to hear stories about Martins Ferry. That's his hometown. That's all he talks about. So, first, Emily Barrett. Ira Spicy Bland. Spencer Bowman. Shelby Butcher. Lindsay Clement. Lindsay Cooperrider. Catherine Davis. Morgan Dellerman. Caitlin Goodwin. Bryce Guy. Andrew Harvey. The better looking twin, Nick Harvey. Mariah Hoskinson. Alicia Connect. Stephanie McClary. Chase Mead. Rachel Metcalf. Jasmine Miller. Ian Murphy. Tyler Neal. Allison Nixon. Brian Nixon. Noah Pinto. Cami Pullman. Jed Quackenbush. Hannah Root. Morgan Shaner. Brianna Shannon. Ellie Spitznagel. Hunter Sutyak. Mackenzie Wilcox. Veronica Williams. Dylan Workman. And Tasia Wright.
Thank you, big dog. Well, this is the class. This is the class that turned the corner. All right, and I'll do a little promo. Every time I get the microphone in my hand, I say, Tom, you brag about your school. I said, you noticed that, okay? Imagine that. I'm going to brag about our children. Your children, my children, our children. Because they're special, and they deserve it. And I get fired up, and I get emotional. Because 6 years ago when I walked in, I told the parents, I said to myself, these kids are being cheated. I knew it in my heart, and it bothered me. I didn't know whether to quit or go forward. So I decided to go forward. And I want you to know something. I talked about all the transfers out. I told you how many teachers are transferring out. Told you about how many students are transferring out. I'm going to tell you what I'm the most proud of. It would be a headache to anybody else. We have now surpassed the record of any middle school and anybody else in the district. We have now an incoming enrollment next year of 560 kids. They can't wait to come to Heritage. I'm proud of that. Darn right. We're the largest middle school in the district, and they're on a waiting list. Got our notification from Mrs. Quackenbush. Everybody that their openings are, and that's a huge undertaking for Mrs. Quackenbush, our personnel director. It's a huge undertaking, and it's a huge responsibility to bring good teachers into our district for your children. Huge. Next thing I'm proud of is she sent out this huge list of everybody that's coming into the district. Guess how many openings that we have at Heritage for teaching position? 0, you're right. Another round of applause for our teachers. Nobody's leaving. They're all coming. Nobody wants to go. You think that's not dear to my heart? I said, yes. Yes. We have the best damn school around, and I'm so proud of the kids and the teachers. I'm so happy for your parents. Okay? We've turned it. We're there. We made it. The proof is in the pudding. Eighth grade parents are going to have to listen to this speech in about 4 days. I was saving it because it's a good one. But I just want to show you, so you know in your heart that it's not just hot smoke that I'm blowing. As a parent, you love nothing more than your own children. We know that. You love your children more than life itself. So therefore, you would put your child in the very best environment that you possibly could. Whatever you can afford and whatever you can't afford. That's why we go in debt. That's why we struggle. That's why we lose sleep at night. That's why we wake up with stress on our face. Because we love our children. Well, I have three people in this district. I have Mrs. Quackenbush, I have Tom Bowman, and I have Mr. Sutyak. Mrs. Quackenbush has been in this district forever. She's gone to school here. She graduated here. She's been a principal. Now she works in the central office. She could put her child wherever she wants to put her child, and rightfully so, she's earned that. I got Tom Bowman that lives in Zanesville. It just moved lately, but he lived in Zanesville. He can put his children in Zanesville School District. And we got Mr. Sutyak that lives in Pataskala, and he can put his children in Pataskala. All three of those adults, those educators that love their children just like you love yours, chose to put their children in Heritage, where they know the best education, school culture and climate, and academics was going to come. And they believed in us. They had faith in us. And I believe in my heart that we have delivered, and I would never want to let those people down like I wouldn't want to let you down. And I thank you, Barb. I thank you, Tom. I thank you, Big Dog, for bringing your children here, okay, and trusting in us. Please give them a round of applause.